Hi everyone, we hope you're enjoying the Masters of Product Marketing so far. Just before we jump into the next session, I want to share some info on a few of the leadership-focused resources we have been working on improving here at PMA. As you know, we're dedicated to elevating the role of product marketing. But as the function grows, we have been focusing on how to develop the best product marketing leaders for now and the near future. Two exciting ways we have been doing this is through our Product Marketing Certified Leadership course and our PMA Exec Membership Plan. Our leadership certification will equip you with the insider knowledge you need to create a lasting, successful career as a product marketing leader. Through this course, we'll equip you with the fundamental skills required to guide your team with authority, confidence, influence, and innovation. And now for the PMA Exec Membership Plan. This gives you all the benefits of our awesome Pro Plan in addition to our exclusive leadership community, even more strategic templates and frameworks, leadership peer councils, monthly masterminds, a recruitment hub, and a whole lot more. We'll be sharing more details on these throughout the event, but if you want to chat in more depth, then why not reach out to one of the team through the PMA Slack community. But for now, we're on to the next talk.
Hello and welcome. Thank you all for joining me here today. My name is Sean Lauer, and I'm the head of product marketing at Mural. I'm very excited to be here today to speak to you about a topic that is near and dear to my heart, because I've been living it for the past 2 years. Building a product marketing team at a hyper-growth startup. On the surface, this topic may sound simple or even mundane, but I can assure you that it was anything but that, as Mural has experienced unprecedented growth over the past 18 plus months. But we will get to that later. First, let me give you a taste of what we're going to talk about here today. And before I get started, let me just set a quick timer here for 20 minutes, just to make sure I don't run over time. Great. First, I want to give you a little bit of my background and experience so that I might help add color to how I've thought about tackling the challenges around hypergrowth. So we're going to start here with just a little bit about me. Next, I will set the stage by making sure we're all on the same page about Mural, what the product is, who we work with, etc. Then we'll jump into the challenge of hypergrowth and paint a clear picture of the gaps that needed to be filled in order to support a hypergrowth organization. And then lastly, we'll move beyond the challenge and review what we actually did at Mural in order to weather the storm and lay the groundwork that we'll continue to build on today. Let's get started. As you already know, I currently lead the product marketing team at Mural. Previously, I worked at Twitter for almost 5 years across business product marketing and the vertical marketing team. Working at Twitter taught me a lot of lessons and best practices that I've applied at Mural. Prior to Twitter, I learned best-in-class marketing from one of the biggest brands in the world at Budweiser, part of Anheuser-Busch InBev. Going back a little bit further, I have a business degree and an undergrad degree from the University of Virginia, as well as a graphic design degree from Parsons School of Design. I've worked on some very well-known brands and taken lessons from each and every experience. But enough about me, let's talk about Mural. Mural was born in 2011 by our 3 Argentine co-founders, all with backgrounds in gaming, which drove their focus on the visual canvas. In 2014, Mural entered the prestigious IDEO Startup in Residence program, which helped hone the product and the business model, ultimately leading to the product that you see before you today. Over the past 2+ years, Mural has raised its Series A, B, and C for total funding of around $200 million. There are now over 800 Mural employees, or as we call them, Muralistas, worldwide. I'll talk a little more soon about how much that number has grown recently. Some very recent news for the company is that we were just named one of Deloitte's Technology Fast 500 companies in North America for 2021, attributed to 520% revenue growth over the past 3 calendar years. We also just won a Prodi Award from the Product School as the top visual collaboration platform, voted on by product managers around the world. These recognitions of strong performance are important in helping us attract top talent, which I will speak some more about later on. Now, let's talk a little bit about Mural, the product. Mural is a visual collaboration platform. The Mural product is a visual thinking canvas with features to guide playful and engaging teamwork. Through a community of experts, we also help our customers deploy best practices at scale to transform how their teams collaborate together. With Mural, teams imagine together to solve problems, create new ideas, and drive innovation. Teams find value with Mural in helping them to brainstorm and ideate. I'll zoom in a little bit here for you. To brainstorm and ideate, plan and strategize, execute impactful client engagements, create fun meetings and workshops, and perform research, design, and analysis methods. Now with Mural, you can either start with a blank slate or use one of hundreds of templates that Mural offers to kickstart collaboration. You can see here an example of a template for an Agile Scrum meeting. Mural is available on standard web browsers, which is what I'm using here, as well as iOS, Android, Windows, and macOS apps. Mural is trusted by over 90% of the Fortune 100. We work with some of the biggest names in tech, financial services, and consulting, along with industry leaders across a lot of other categories. There are a lot more logos in our Salesforce dashboards that we're not able to share in marketing materials, but if you aren't a Mural member yourself already, there's a good chance that someone in your organization is. Oh, and by the way, you should sign up because it's now free forever. We launched our free forever plan this past August. But enough of a sales pitch. That's definitely not my strong suit, nor why I'm here today. Let's talk about the challenge we faced at Mural to build a product marketing team while growing at hyper speed. Now, first, let's take a look at this chart. This chart shows Mural's usage starting in January of 2020. You can see over here. And running through June 2020. But I actually want to start over a little bit further to the left over here. This is November 2019, and this is when I joined Mural as the first product marketer. I was also the 11th US employee and approximately employee number 100 globally. It was definitely a different world back then for many reasons. Over the first 6 months of my time at Mural, I started by doing a lot of learning, as well as teaching and informing about the role of product marketing at a B2B SaaS startup. However, my plans changed along with everybody else's in March of 2020. This is when COVID took hold of the world, and seemingly overnight, every company went remote. Also seemingly overnight, Mural went from a product that was a nice to have to a product that was a must have. You can see by the sharp rise in our usage that the change was dramatic. We experienced a 15x growth in a matter of days and weeks. You can ignore these dips right here in this chart, as they represent times like weekends and holidays when our usage naturally decreases. Now, this chart, as I said, ends at June 2020, but our growth has done nothing to slow down since. With the world now firmly in an uncertain mix of remote, hybrid, and distributed work arrangements, the demand for Mural remains strong, and our product is enabling teams everywhere to innovate faster, no matter where they are located. But let's hop back here to March of 2020 for a second. It really illustrates the challenge that we faced and how I was thinking about building the product marketing team at Mural. As I said, we were all a little bit mind blown at this stage. And let's emphasize that a little bit by inserting a GIF for ourselves here. You're definitely mind blown. And to say we had to come up quickly with a growth plan would definitely be an understatement. Now, the company at this stage, you can see here, was still merely about 120 people, with only 5 marketers, one of which was our CMO who had just started, and me as the only product marketer with a tenure of less than 6 months. The work weeks got very long, very quickly. I had calls early in the morning, late at night, over the weekend. Something had to be done, but what? I had to figure out quickly how to solve for the product marketing needs of a company in literal hypergrowth. Sellers were slacking me left and right for messaging and materials. Executives were rethinking our entire go-to-market strategy and needed support in building the narrative and training our sales and customer success organizations. I also had to figure out how to scale my impact as a one-person PMM team while moving at 100 miles an hour. I couldn't be everywhere, but I had to help everyone. Luckily, I had some best practices I could draw on to help solve for this problem. Lastly, I really needed to bring on some rock star PMMs to help me build the plane while flying. I knew I needed people who were up for the challenge. I also wanted to bring on good people who would be fun to work with and make me want to get up for work every day. Now, let's take a look at what we did to answer these pressing questions. The immediate solution to the challenges we faced came in 3 areas: knowing your audience, building a foundation, and hiring great people. Sounds simple, right? Well, let's take a dive into each one. Knowing your audience. It might sound pretty expected, but when your company starts to see a waterfall of demand from every corner of the business world, the top universities around the globe, and even government institutions, you really need a clear picture of who you're targeting in order to maintain and build on the inbound demand that you're seeing. At Mural, we built a target audience framework that has driven our go-to-market efforts ever since. We pulled data from all possible sources to build it: the product, our content, our customers, and from the minds of some of the most tenured muralistas. The framework resembled a radar or a bullseye. This here is a representation of what it actually looks like. And it was divided into different slices that represented each of our target teams. Within each team, we identified target roles that would most likely to find value with Mural. The closer a role was to the center of the bullseye, the more likely it was to find value more quickly. Ultimately, we want every role to move toward the center because it will signify people are getting more and more value over time. For each role, we also listed out the top 5 use cases based on data in our existing knowledge base. This framework helped create focus for messaging, positioning, web pages, one-pagers, trainings, demand campaigns, email copy, and much, much more. It has been a guiding force in the success that we have seen. I wish I could share the actual exact bullseye with you, but it's confidential for obvious reasons. Now, let's talk about number 2, building a foundation. When it came to the needs of the product marketing stakeholders internally as well as externally, we needed to create foundational resources that would be able to scale as our company grew to meet the skyrocketing demand. Whether it was internal communication, one-pagers and slide decks, business frameworks, presentations and demos, internal trainings, we had to put things in place in order to support our growth. Having a tech stack, especially when it was just me or even 3 to 4 people on the product marketing team, was vital for our success. So first, we adopted HighSpot to help organize and centralize our sales enablement materials, pitch decks, and one-pagers. We also adopted Crayon to centralize our competitive intelligence, as well as provide a powerful tool to amplify our efforts at tracking our category and competitors. We used Confluence as our internal wiki to create a single source of truth and to drive everyone there first to find answers to their questions. Mural had long before adopted Slack, but we created a dedicated product marketing Slack channel to help get our updates out to the people who needed to hear them most, while also providing one location for our stakeholders to ask us questions. Lastly, we established a regular cadence of live product marketing update meetings where we could present information and take questions on the fly. These meetings started monthly, but eventually moved to every other week as the amount of information we had to share continued to grow. Now, let's be honest, some of these tools required significant budget outlays, but we were able to quickly prove the value of each as the needs became self-evident across the organization. Now, let's move to my favorite solution, hiring great people. When anyone asks me what I love most about working at Mural, I always say the people. I love the product marketing team that we've put together, and I love the teams that we get to partner with internally day in and day out. I want to start with this quote here from Doris Kearns Goodwin. Good leadership requires you to surround yourself with people of diverse perspectives who can disagree with you without fear of retaliation. Not only did I want to build a team of people I enjoyed working with, but I also wanted to hire people who were going to challenge me, sometimes even make fun of me, which I don't mind. I want to create a psychologically safe environment because I think it's an absolute requirement to be a successful team, especially in a high-pressure, hyper-growth phase. So in looking to hire the second product marketer and beyond, I first looked to cover the core tenets of product marketing: messaging and positioning, product content, and then feature launches. We needed to create consistency in our messaging and positioning. I was still less than 6 months into my time at Mural, and the messaging was still all over the map. In order to support our growth, we needed everyone singing from the same song sheet. I also knew that our product content needed to be elevated. Our design team at that point was one person and a contractor. We used all of their capacity to help us add polish and shine so that our prospects and customers had no choice but to adopt Mural. In time, we would add many more creative resources internally, as well as top-notch video production agency externally to up-level our entire website, produce engaging videos and GIFs, design professional emails and social assets, and much more. But we need a product marketer to help guide these efforts and make sure that our messaging and positioning resonated and was consistent across all deliverables and all channels. Lastly, what is a product marketing team without feature launches? Our product team began scaling up along with the rest of the company in March of 2020. our release cadence went from every 3 weeks to once per week, so we could ship improvements to our products in near real time. We needed to have someone dedicated to working with our product team early and often to make sure that new features we launched were properly enabled with stakeholders to drive adoption at scale. Bringing on a seasoned feature launch product marketer gave me the opportunity to focus on filling gaps and clearing blockers across the entire team. We continue to build out the product marketing team at Mural around a very similar structure today. Our 9th and 10th team members just started last month, and we've got 2 more additions coming very soon. At the end of the day, you want to be able to wake up in the morning and log into your first Zoom meeting and be excited to get shit done with the faces on the other end. Thank you for your time. I enjoyed speaking to you about my experience at Mural thus far. Please feel free to reach out to me with questions or comments on LinkedIn, Twitter, or Gmail. Have a great rest of your day.